Hello friends, it's a great day for hardcore Minecraft. This episode is a little different, as I will be walking you all through the steps of creating a hardcore build-focused forever world. Before we begin, it's important for me to point out that this video will focus on steps to optimize your building experience, not tips on how to survive forever. That part you'll have to figure out on your own. Without further ado, let's begin with step 1. Finding your ideal location. It's 2025. In the long run, no one is going to be happy building in boring plains with only birch forests over the horizon. You need to find a location to start your builds that excites your brain. If it doesn't immediately spark your imagination, odds are you will get burnt out and want to build somewhere else relatively quickly. For my hardcore world, I found a small island off the coast of an old-growth taiga swamp hybrid with rocks and trees sprinkled throughout the water. I saw an opportunity for this world's potential story. A man began stranded on this small island but outgrew it to establish the ultimate fishing industry and farming colony, overtaking surrounding terrain with crop fields and docks and adorable little cottages. Choosing a spot that seamlessly combined two biomes also allows me to take a break from the taiga if I ever desire to, without straying away from the epicenter of my builds. Story applicability is not the only deciding factor. Find land that is unique, beautiful, and contains naturally build-friendly formations that will allow you to avoid terraforming until you have the tools required to do so. Step 2. Adventure beyond your base. Start exploring in a radius beyond your base. As you row down a neighboring river, allow your imagination to run wild with the possibilities of what your world may grow into. If you are willing to put in the time, I recommend acquiring the Adventuring Time advancement before you start any big projects. Mark down the location of every biome with unique blocks so you always know where to go if you need something. When I start a world, I always, at the very least, acquire 4 of every sapling in the game to ensure I always have access to each wood type without having to travel again. Step 3. Obtain efficient tools. For my world, I'm going to take this to a bit of an extreme and build 3 new houses for my villagers to live in. First is a dock house that will be home to my fishermen to whom I sell fish for emeralds, and my armorer, toolsmith, and weaponsmith who will sell me my diamond gear. If you want your world to last forever, there is no sense in risking mining before you have to. Up to this point, I've obtained my iron gear via iron golems, buried treasure, and shipwrecks. Second is a farmhouse across a small river connected to my silk field. I built it atop a man-made cave with a steep staircase spiraling to the top of the house. In the cave are some decorative wheat crops, and the house itself contains a soft color scheme of stripped spruce and silk wood. Third is a breedery with a heart-shaped front fixture with a spruce and cherry color scheme. This is where each of our villagers will be born and raised, and in the future will populate a large portion of our world. Once the houses were complete, I could move on to moving all of the villagers. None of the villagers want to pick up bread. Do villagers not eat bread anymore? Maybe I should try potatoes. I doubt that's it. I think that all of their inventories are just full, but I don't know why they're full. The roof is high enough. I know the roof has to be high enough for a baby villager to jump on it in order for them to breed. I know why. Oh my gosh. It was because I had mob griefing off. I hate this game. Leveling them up took quite a bit longer than I expected. My wheat farm, which I thought was pretty large, turned out to be largely insufficient in providing me the necessary emeralds. Instead of relying solely on the wheat, I killed many iron golems and sold the iron to the villagers. Occasionally, I'd harvest fish from my collection nets, but iron provided me the best balance of emerald profits and villager experience. Step 4. Organization. I was not in the mood to build a 4th house in this video, and I had just began planning a jungle-based concept whilst planning this one, so a bulkhead covered by excessive growth of wood and leaves seemed like a simple yet elegant way to go. In this bunker, I will need to set up sections to house all the building block categories I believe I will need for this section of the world. Within these categories would be subcategories further organizing my catalog. For example, a section for wooden blocks would have a subsection for every wood type. A section for stone would have a subsection for cobblestone, stone, deep slate, etc., including blocks crafted from each of them. For my current base, I decided the best categories to have were wooden blocks, stone blocks, vegetation, miscellaneous blocks, treasure, and junk. After digging out the bunker, I needed to move all of my items all around my base to it, and considering I tend to put items into the nearest chest or barrel when convenient, it was a lot of mindless running around. Once all my items were in the right place, it was much easier to then decorate the bunker to cross off yet another task towards making this world a forever world. Step 5. Collection. For this video, I will be building water rapids that will eventually connect to a cave river system into my mines. For this build, I have to collect stone, cobblestone, tuff, and andesite for the terraforming, stained glass for the 3D splash effect of the rapids, and some polished stones like granite, diorite, and tuff to give the floor of the river a nice colorful palette. Every time you collect blocks for a build, you should collect a little bit extra. Odds are you will need that block again, and now you will slowly be accumulating, so with enough time, you won't even have to go collecting for every build. So, first things first, we have to mine a bunch of trees. Because the water rapids are going to go right here. They're going to connect to this little body of water back here, probably with a waterfall or a water wheel of some kind. Okay, so we're going to start with an outline of where the rapids will go. And then the way the rapids are going to work is the water will be flowing from there, and there will be ramps going up this way where the water will go up and then splash off. So here's the outline of our water rapids. It doesn't look great, but this is mostly an outline of where the water is going to go. We're going to build this up and out to make natural rock formations. And then we're going to have to fill all of this with water. The final step toward building a successful forever world in Minecraft is connectivity. You need your world to feel cohesive, and it helps to theorize and imagine how your world's ecosystem would function. How my silk and wheat farmland funds the fishing industry, and the fishing industry feeds the entire colony. The water rapids we built will eventually be home to gold panners who harvest mineral dust from the waters. Connect all your builds with paths, and make sure your builds evolve over time. Have some sort of reasonable progression from one build to the next, and make sure every build is unique and has purpose. Once you've accomplished each of these steps and successfully created the optimal start to your forever world, it is on you to keep going. Enjoy the process, don't take unnecessary risks, and always revisit builds you aren't happy with and try them again. You will feel much better about continuing in a world with only builds you like than having to pass by a build you don't like every time you play. If you all enjoyed this video and would like to see my forever world grow, I stream it as much as possible on my Twitch, so follow it down below in the description. That's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope it was a little bit of a help to you, encouraging you to start your own forever world now. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.